All right, you guys, where did we leave off? We left off with 2e. 2e, and I think that this didn't print out right. I think this is supposed to be 3 to the x squared equals 560. Okay. And whenever you have the variable in the exponent, to get it down, we have to take a log, and it comes out front. So x squared times the log of 3, right? And what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So then we have to take the log of 560. Okay? What does that do? The log of 3 is just a number. So we're going to divide both sides by the log of 3 to get x squared by itself. So x squared is equal to the log of 560. And I don't like to put all of these in the calculator till the end to get the best answer possible, or the most, what's the word I'm looking for? The closest of 3. Okay, and this whole thing is just a number. It's going to be a weird number, probably. And then last, I have to take the square root of that to get x by itself, right? Now, don't forget that when you take the square root of something, your answers are going to be both positive and negative. So my answer is going to be positive and negative. Let's see, we will do square root of the log of 560 divided by, look at how many parentheses I'm putting in, make sure you're getting all your parentheses in, divided by the log of 3. Okay. And what does that give us? Positive and negative 2.34. Let's just do that. Positive and negative 2.34. 2e and 2f. F says 7 times the square roots of 4x minus 11. 4x minus 8, sorry, stop yelling already. And then on the outside, minus 11 equals 17. Okay, so check it, you guys. I said something to somebody today that they had never heard before. If I was going to do the order of operations, you would start from the inside and go out, right? But when we are solving, we do the opposite of that. So what's our low-hanging fruit here? Let's just go ahead and add 11 to both sides. And then we have 7 times the square root of 4x minus 8 equals, let's see, 17 minus 10 is 7, minus another 1 is 6. Okay. Now what's next? 7. Divide each side by 7. I'm just going to leave it, dividing by 7 is messy. I'm just going to leave it as 6 over 7. So I have 4x minus 8 equals 6 over 7. And I've got to square both sides. And that gets rid of my square root. So now I have 4x minus 8 equals 6 over 7 squared is going to be the same as 36 over 49. And add 8. So 36 over 49, this whole thing divided by 4. So x equals this. I guess there's nothing wrong with leaving it like this. Let's just make sure we can put it in the calculator correctly. Let's see if we can put this whole thing into the calculator. Or we could just do it one by one. We know we want to do the fraction first, but remember all of this is on the numerator. So I want to do the whole numerator. So 36 divided by 49. Enter. Plus 8. Enter. And then that whole answer divided by 2.184 approximately. X equals approximately, sorry, I forgot what we just saw, 2.184. Okay. Cool, done solving equations. Okay, so number 3, if you guys looked at it, you were probably upset because we hadn't done one of these in class. So let's do it now. We'll do another one tomorrow. Like I said, test not tomorrow. We will do an entire different practice test for you guys. And hopefully you've watched this also. So find an equation of an exponential curve. So I know it's exponential. I know that. Okay. So I know I'm going to be trying to find a number I'm multiplying by the same each time. And I guess this is 3. And it gives us 2 points, 1 and 80 and 4, 1 and 80 and 4, and then a like ugly number, 156.25. Okay. So I should have in my notes, and you should have in your notes, the formula for an exponential equation, right? Here's our starting value. Here's the number we're multiplying by each time, and our exponent is the x. So what can I do? What can I do with all of this? What we end up doing is solving 2 equations for 2 variables. Okay, so each one of these points can make an equation, but let's solve for, or at least, I mean, create our equations first, our 2 equations, 2 unknowns. So if you look at this first point, my y is 80, y equals a times b to the first power, because that's my x. And this one is y, which is 156.25, equals a times b to the 4th power, because that 4 goes there. Okay, so now let's solve this first equation for a. Let's get a by itself. So b to the 1st power is the same as just b. So if we divide both sides by b, we get a is equal to 80 over b. Now let's substitute 80 over b in this equation for a. So I have 156.25 equals 80 over b times b to the 4th. So we could also just write this as 80 times b all on the numerator over b on the denominator, because it's just b times 1 is b on the denominator. And that way you can see I can cancel out a b here and a b here. So instead of b to the 4th, I have b cubed. So this equation is actually just 156.25 is equal to, that b canceled out, sorry you guys, is equal to 80b cubed. So divide both sides by 80. And we get whatever this is, and I'm not going to put it into I'll put it in the calculator at the end. 156.25 over 80, I just know it's a number, right, is equal to b cubed. And I hope you realize we take this cubed root, the cubed root of both sides. So we get b equals, if you put it into the calculator and go to math, 4, the cubed root of 156.25 divided by 80, that all needs to be in parentheses, or at least under the radical if you have a newer calculator. Enter 1.25. Nice! See, if you wait till the end, if I hadn't waited till the end, I'd probably have a messier number to put all of that in. So b is equal to 1.25. Okay, so now we're going to substitute that into the first equation, which was 80 equals a times, now I know 1.25 is my b, which means whatever I have is growing by 25%, right? To the power of 1, remember that first equation had a 1 where the x was, and 1.25 to the power of 1 is just 1.25, so to solve for a, I just divide both sides by 1.25, So A is equal to, let's see, what was it? 80 divided by 1.25. $64. Look, we got a perfect, beautiful answer. A equals 64. So that was my starting value for whatever this is. The actual equation is y equals, what was my A? 64 times 1.25 to the power of x. Yay! Okay, number 4. Armand is 30 years old now and hopes to retire when he's 60. So he's 30 years old now, wants to retire when he's 60. So that is, what, 30 years from now. Okay, 30 years. And he wants to invest $10,000. So I know this is exponential. And so A is going to be my starting value, which is $10,000. He wants to figure out what the percentage rate is. So we're looking for what kind of goes here for B, right? That's what we're looking for. To make $50,000. So he wants to know for 30 years, he wants to know in 30 years, which is our X, he wants $50,000. So he gave us a point to use in order to solve for B. So what we have is y, oh, sorry guys, not y. What's the value that he gave us for y? $50,000 is equal to $10,000 at what rate? So B. After 30 years. So X goes in for 30, right? This is X. This is Y. I'm going to pause this and solve this because I don't have a lot of time left on this video. And then I will come back on and you guys can look through it and see if you understand. Okay, I'm back, but you might want to pause it and take a look at this. I just divided by 10,000 and then took the 30th root. And that's going to be the math button and number 5 and took the 30th root. What I ended up getting is approximately 1.055. But the question is asking, what is that percentage? Well, if you remember, B, if we're looking at a growth rate, is actually, we can write it as 1 plus that rate, right? So the question is, if we have 1 plus that rate, B ends up being 1 plus 0.055. So that 0.055 is actually our percent. So if we turned that into percent, move the decimal 2 times over, we would have it, he needs it at 5.5%, which is a lot more than any savings account. So I don't know where he's going to put that, a CD or some stocks or something. Go ahead and play around with your calculator if you didn't, or ask me tomorrow. But, and then we should, of course, answer that in a complete sentence. I'm going to stop this one, upload it, and then keep going.